Hi guys, it's Siva. I am home from the seminar with Guro Lonely Dog that I went to in Illinois. Really tired. We actually just got home from a full day of traveling. So I'm going to rest tonight and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. I am well rested and ready to talk about the awesome seminar that I went to with Guro Lonely Dog Benjamin Rittiner. The seminar was in Central Illinois. He's only ever out in the U.S. like once or twice a year, usually for the East Coast camp that's in Pennsylvania. So it was a really real treat to get to go to this seminar. I'm so glad that we went, and I wanted to talk about it. So before I start babbling about the seminar itself, I want to start by saying that anyone who ever has the opportunity to train with Guro Lonely Dog, like, you absolutely should do it. The material is really accessible. It's very simple mechanically. He discusses mostly concepts rather than like specific techniques. If the subject is even mildly interesting to you, even if you don't train FMA, even if you have no interest in ever stick fighting, like, you should definitely go if you have that opportunity. In fact, at one point in time in the seminar, people asked about possibly sparring. And Guro Lonely said, somewhat regretfully, he's like, well, the problem with sparring at the seminar is it actually turns some people away. They don't go to the seminar because they're worried that it's going to be like fighting at a gathering or something. And it is not at all like that. So if you are one of those people, don't be turned away from the seminar. Please, please, please. If there is sparring at all, it is light contact, soft sticks, even if you want to. There might not even be sparring. Absolutely, it's not like a gathering at all. It is just great material. And again, it is accessible material, and it's interesting to anyone who has any interest in martial arts or weapons techniques or FMA, whether it's Dog Brothers or just a general interest. Do it, okay? Not only very accessible on the skill level, but also very accessible on the fitness level. So Guro Lonely was very specific at the start, to do what you can. He doesn't care if you're not like way up, super fit or whatever, as long as you're trying. If you can't do push-ups, then maybe do them on your knees or do as many as you can. Or, when we're running laps around the gym, if you can't run or can't run that long, then walk it. He doesn't care as long as you're doing it. And this was actually something I was really anxious about. I have shitty cardio. I have flabby muscles. I'm out of shape. And I kind of am nervous about going to things like this because I'm worried that I'm not fit enough to participate, which is ironic and self-defeating, because if you're not participating in fitness activities because you're not fit, then like, how are you going to get fit? But like, that's not just a worry of mine. Like, I think that is also reinforced by other people. And I think that's kind of sad. So, definitely do not be turned away. I was not the only person there, I'm sure, who was out of shape. But I was able to keep up with everything just fine. But if I hadn't been able to, that also would have been fine. Very accessible. Do not be turned away for any fitness-related reasons in addition to skill-related reasons. So I think it might be my favorite seminar that I've ever attended, and I've attended a lot of great seminars. In fact, I don't really want to pit them against each other because so many great ones, right? But definitely up there. And I was not the only one who felt that way. Like, other people were whispering like, oh my gosh, this is so mind-blowing, or this information is so useful, and people were very excited. Like, everyone was excited. Even people, full Dog Brothers who've been training for years and years and years, still were very excited about what they were getting out of it. So yeah, thumbs up on that. In case you didn't know, Guro Lonely has his own variation of Dog Brothers martial arts called the Lonely Variation. It's different than Crafty's core curriculum, but it's still considered like legit DBMA. Now, Guru Crafty's material is great and full of wisdom and has produced a ton of stellar fighters, but personally, I've always been much more attracted to the Lonely Variation just because I feel that it works better for my body type. It emphasizes like high mobility and evasion and footwork and things like that. And so I feel like speed is something that I can achieve as a small woman, but no matter how much I train, I'm never going to be a big, tall, strong man. So for that reason, I feel like Guro Lonely's material would work much better for me as a woman. And so I like it. I can, even though I'm not strong or fast right now, I feel like those are goals that I can meet, and that is the kind of game that I can do for my own fighting and sparring and martial arts. versus a lot of Crafty's material. And don't get me wrong, I love Crafty's material, and there's a lot of stuff there that I take and I enjoy and I train and things like that. But ultimately, when I'm looking at sort of developing a fighting style in case I do ever fight, Guro Lonely stuff is the stuff that I would be looking at for sure. So there is so much great wisdom and excellent concepts and exciting things from the seminar that I would love to share, but I am not an instructor in DBMA. In fact, I am only a yellow tag, which is like the lowest of the low. So I'm going to have to control my excitement. Originally, when I made this channel, one of the things that I made it for was so that I could record and remember and, share the different tidbits of wisdom and techniques that I picked up at various seminars that I attended. But I've sort of backtracked on that original plan because, I'm not an instructor in a lot of these things. And also, this is people's intellectual property. And for some people, it's their literal livelihood. So I don't want to tread on any inappropriate territory or disrespect people who I greatly respect. So I've decided ultimately that I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to share like the details of the seminar or the particulars of the things I learned. Sorry. Look, I'm as sad about it as you are. But as I mentioned earlier, Guro Lonely's curriculum is all about footwork and high mobility and getting in and out, about carefully chosen strikes over combinations, evasion over blocks. He also has a preferred structure that he calls the Swiss boy. That was actually kind of hard for me to do because I had to untrain a lot of years of muscle memory. Ultimately, I'm not sure. He had really good reasons for it. I'm not sure how I feel about using it, but still really excellent to hear about and hear his reasons for. And it obviously works for him because he's a fucking terrifying fighter. I don't know if you have seen him fight. You should look on YouTube right now for his videos if you have not, because he's amazing. And pretty much like everyone in this community, probably because Guru Inosanto filtered down into Dog Brothers is like this. He's definitely not selling his way as the right way, just that, here's what I do, and here's why it works for me, and here's why I like it, and, here's why I don't like this other stuff. But he makes it very clear that, like, you should play to your body strengths, you should play to your own, personal fitness strengths and skill strengths. Find out what works for you and do that. My way is not necessarily the right way. But in a lot of cases, I think for me, it is the right way. He's not, despite being a terrifying fighter, he's not a big guy. I think he's only like a few inches taller than me. Of course, he's, in shape. So I think it's a very good curriculum for smaller people to develop that speed that I mentioned rather than working on strength. Of course, strength is, anytime you do blunt impact like a stick, strength is still definitely important. And he is very strong. I have seen him, break people's pieces, but it's not, that is not the be all end all of everything. In fact, if anything, probably mobility is. We were going to do a private lesson actually with Guro Lonely. We had it booked for Sunday night, but after the seminar, he came up to us and, he was tired and we were tired. In fact, I could barely stand up anymore at that point. We had a whole weekend, 10 hours, with him. We were all exhausted. So we all sort of mutually agreed to we have enough material to work on. We'll be okay. I'm a little sad about it just because the opportunity to have a private lesson with Guro Lonely was really exciting, but I probably wouldn't have remembered anything from it anyway because I was already drowning in all this awesome new material that I still need to practice. So at the end of the seminar, we were all sitting in a circle kind of talking about things, and one of the ladies, in fact the lady who arranged for us to have that space available, Gaby, was like, you motivated me that I'm going to try to fight in 2018. And once again, sort of sparked in me that motivation and that interest in fighting myself that I toy with every single year, but ultimately I never do because I never get the guts or the motivation to do the training. And I have talked before about my hesitation because there's so few ladies fighting in the U.S. I don't want to train all this time to do these stick fightings with women that don't show up, and then I have to do sword fighting, which I'm not any good at because that's all you can do with the men. And a lot of levels, it's very daunting to me. Not just the fear factor of being bad or getting hurt. In fact, getting hurt is probably the lowest of all my many levels of fear for that. But in any case, well, now I know there's going to be a lady there in 2018, and if she's brave enough to do it, maybe I should. So at this moment, August 1st, 2017, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Next year, September, the Open. We'll see how it is in a few months. But if I keep up that motivation, I will keep a training journal or whatever. I'll keep it updated on this channel. Shit, man, I need to get private lessons and like sword material. So we'll see. But Gaby, just as Guro Lonely inspired Gaby has sort of inspired me a little on that. We'll see if it sticks. Another thing it has definitely influenced is my desire to get out to Bern for a gathering. We went to Hanover in April 2016. In fact, I made a video about that. In fact, that's where my husband originally made Dog. It was really, really great. We got a couple hour seminar after each day with Crafty and with Lonely, which was cool. And I would definitely love to repeat that experience. And of course, any opportunity to train with Guro Lonely some more is very, very appealing. And Switzerland seems beautiful, and Bern seems like an awesome city. And no offense to Hanover, I actually really like Germany, but Hanover to me was just sort of a generic big city. So like it wasn't, and sadly it was all destroyed during World War II, so there's not even like any really cool old stuff, which other people from the US know that like that's the old stuff in Europe is very appealing to us because nothing around here is super old, right? So yeah, but Bern has a lot of really old stuff, and just looks like a beautiful city, and the river running through it, and they camp at a campsite where they have the outside where they have the gathering and stuff. So like all of that is just really cool. So I really want to go if we can make it happen. And now I have that extra motivation of like, God, I want to train with him again already. I just got home. So finally, last of all, many, many, many thanks to all the people who made this happen. First to Guro Benjamin for being willing to fly all the way out to the US just for a weekend seminar and, share with us his wisdom and insight. And second, to Terry Crutcher for organizing this for his students and his crew. To Greg for helping with the logistics, and finally to the lovely Gaby for getting us this wonderful, large, air-conditioned space at the Salvation Army where she works. And finally, a really big thanks to all the Midwest crew. All you folks were enormously welcoming and kind. Matt and I are very shy people, so things like this are normally very difficult for us and very anxiety-inducing, and like I didn't even want to hide in the bathroom once because everybody was so inclusive and nice, and like everyone was like, oh, next time you should stay at my house, and like don't rent a car, I'll just drive you guys everywhere, and like insanely nice. I know that is the stereotype of people from the Midwest, but y'all lived up to it, like really, really awesome. And then last of all, I'm going to put links to anything that I think is relevant down in the description box, so you should definitely check that out, like Lonely Dog's channel, Lonely's Den, the Dog Brothers Martial Arts website, and the EU version of the website, and all that stuff, and fucking check it out, and share your enthusiasm with me. And is the cat back there doing bad things again? Yep. I hear her doing bad things again. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you have had the joy of training with Guro Lonely, mention it so I can be like, excited with you. That's my excited face. Yeah, sorry you had to see that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you with the next video.